Bonjour, mes amis. Today we are going to learn how to talk to your dog. Comment parler à son chien. I have lots of students who tell me, I want to practice my French more. And I always recommend you can practice by yourself. I know you don't get the feedback and you don't have to react to other people's questions or comments, but it's a really good way for you to make sentences spontaneously. So this is a bit of a funny video that I've been compiling with the help of some of my learners who actually do this. They speak to their dogs. Let's get started. The first sentence, the thing to note in this one is the word tout, which means dog, but it's the cutesy name for dog. So we'll say like doggy. Qui est le plus beau toutou du monde? Who is the most beautiful or gorgeous doggy in the world? Qui est le plus beau toutou du monde? This is a question, and you're going to need to know the word laisse. Une laisse, it's feminine object, and it's a leash. So when we say, où est-ce qu'on a mis ta laisse? It's literally, where is it that we put your leash? Now, the dog probably didn't put the leash anywhere. We're just kind of roping them in to figure out where is it now. Où est ta laisse would just be, where is your leash? Où est-ce qu'on a mis ta laisse? Where did we put it? Your leash. If you want to invite your dog to come nearer to you, you'll use the verb venir. So you can say, tu veux venir ici, sur le canapé? Do you want to come here on the couch? Or if you're on the bed, you'll say, tu veux venir ici, sur le lit? If it looks like they're not wanting to move, you might need the word panier. Panier is masculine. Un panier, it's their basket. So you might prompt, tu veux rester dans ton panier? Would you rather stay, or do you want to stay in your basket, in your dog bed? Now, a little question, a rhetorical question that you can ask to the dog is observing that they are wiggling or shaking their tail. So you'll say, ah, tu remues la queue. La queue is the tail. Est-ce que tu es content? If you have a dog, un chien, masculine, but you'll say, est-ce que tu es contente? Are you happy? If you have une chienne, feminine. So all together, ah, tu remues la queue. Est-ce que tu es content? Est-ce que tu es contente? A question you might ask is, where did you leave blah, blah, blah? So I've got two examples here, which I thought would be good new words. Où as-tu laissé? Where did you leave? And then ton joujou, which is a cutesy name for jouet, your toy. So your dog toy, ton joujou, or ton doudou, which is usually something soft, like a blankie. Think of the cutesy name we say about the little piece of cloth or material that babies carry around, or blankets. Some animals have those soft ones too. So if it's not a toy, joujou, you might use doudou. Très bien. Où as-tu laissé ton joujou? Où as-tu laissé ton doudou? This is a question to ask when you're en voiture, in a car. The verb baisser is to lower. So we're saying, tu veux que je baisse la fenêtre? You want me to lower the window? Tu veux que je baisse la fenêtre? Now, once you've arrived at destination, maybe a park that you go to often, you might make a suggestion. Pourquoi ne pas, followed by a verb infinitive, is how about, or why don't we, and then the verb. So you can make suggestions to friends and family like that, but with your pet, you can say, pourquoi ne pas essayer ce nouveau chemin? Nouveau chemin is like a new path. and essayer is to try. So why not try this new path? Because maybe you always do the same circuit. Pourquoi ne pas essayer ce nouveau chemin? Now, as you go on your walk, you'll probably be led to do lots of stops. So you might say, bon d'accord. All righty. Okay. Bon d'accord. On s'arrête ici. We are stopping here. Let's stop here. Pour un pipi ou pour un caca. Pour un pipi, for oui, and I think you can guess what caca is. Bon d'accord. On s'arrête ici pour un pipi. Or, bon d'accord, on s'arrête ici pour un caca. Now, what often happens when we have one of these furry friends at home is things go missing. So you might ask the dog where they hid something. Où as-tu caché? Caché is, as-tu caché is passé composé of the verb cacher, ER verb, first group, to hide. Where did you hide? And then a few options. Mes chaussons, my slippers. Mes tongs, my flip-flops or my thongs, depending on where you are in the world, because we know dogs love to grab shoes. Ma chaussette, if they grabbed a sock, or ma culotte, if they went and hid your panty. So, où as-tu caché mes chaussons? Où as-tu caché mes tongs? Où as-tu caché ma chaussette? And hopefully this one doesn't happen too often. Où as-tu caché ma culotte? Another question that you might need to ask, because these pets can get pretty clingy, is using the verb suivre to follow. Why are you following me? Pourquoi est-ce que tu veux toujours, why do you always me suivre aux toilettes? Follow me to the toilet. Pourquoi est-ce que tu veux toujours me suivre aux toilettes? Something to ask if you've already fed the dog and they look like they're following you around in the kitchen is using the verb nourrir. Nourrir is to feed someone else. So we'll use je nourris le bébé, as well as je nourris le chien, je nourris le chat, and je nourris les poissons, if you have fish. For the dog who's already eaten everything you've given them, you can ask, haven't I already fed you? Je t'ai déjà nourri. Non? Je t'ai déjà nourri. Non? Now, if they're being a little bit fussy, you can see the verb manger. So in relation to their food, you might use pourquoi ne veux-tu pas manger? Why don't you want to eat? Pourquoi ne veux-tu pas manger? And you can add cette pâté, which is the dog food, the soft one, or pourquoi ne veux-tu pas manger ces croquettes, which are the dog biscuits, or the dry food. Pâté, croquette. This is a big sentence, but I thought I would put it in because it has some good vocabulary. We have assiette, which is a plate. This is used by us humans. La nourriture, which is the food in general. And une gamelle. Gamelle, the last word in this question, is a dog bowl. So here's a question you can use to use all these words. Pourquoi est-ce que tu veux ce qu'il y a dans mon assiette? Why do you want what is in my plate or on my plate? Quand il te reste, when there is left, de la nourriture, some food, dans ta gamelle, in your dog bowl. Pourquoi est-ce que tu veux ce qu'il y a dans mon assiette quand il te reste de la nourriture dans ta gamelle? Now, if you're enjoying this video, I'm going to be taking you through some more dog commands, like one-word commands that we say to dogs regularly. But for your step-by-step videos to learn all about some French grammar, phrases, useful scenarios to communicate. I've got lots of listening videos on the website, as well as tips to sit the official French exams called DELF, D-E-L-F. Please subscribe to my channel. You can pause this video and do that now. Click the bell icon to be notified every time I do a new video. Alors, some more dog commands in this second half. We have assis, means sit. Coucher means lie down. Assis, couché. Donne la patte means give your paw. So you're asking for their paw to be lifted and put into your hand. Donne la patte. Donne la patte. Then two that could be used in the same scenario. Reste for stay, or pas bouger. No moving. Reste, pas bouger, and then you're training the dog to stay still. And in a kind of playful interaction, note that we're having a lovely opportunity to review all our imperative mode here with all of these commands. You can get the dog to take something, prends. So maybe you threw the ball and you tell them to take it, prends. And then you might tell them a bit later, lâche, which means let go. Lâche. Prends, lâche. If you don't want them to go near something, you might tell them to leave it. Laisse means leave it. And pas toucher is probably the equivalent of you saying no touching. Laisse, leave it, ou pas toucher. This is the verb aboyer, which means to bark. So very specific order, just for dogs. You say, don't bark, n'aboie pas. Or if you're training them to react to a danger or something, you might say, bark, aboie. N'aboie pas, aboie. Then the one I hear the most often, because I don't actually have a dog, but I do hear this one said by dog owners, is stop barking. Arrête d'aboyer. You tell your dog, arrête d'aboyer. And then you might justify. C'est juste le facteur. Le facteur is the mailman. So stop barking. It's just the mailman. Arrête d'aboyer. C'est juste le facteur. This one is if you're trying to leave the house without le chien, you'll say, je reviens. I'm coming back. Je reviens. Or if you want to say, I'm coming back right away, then you can add, je reviens tout de suite. Je reviens tout de suite. I'll be right back. Here's another one to get a bit of patient reaction or behavior from your dog is attends, wait, attends, or j'arrive, I'm coming. Don't be fooled with this one. Often when students hear someone in France say j'arrive, or they read it in a dialogue, they pick it up as I'm arriving. But how we use it in French is more I'm coming. J'arrive, I'm coming, I'm on my way. So I haven't arrived yet, but I'm on my way. This one is for when you're trying to get your dog back to come back to you. So it might be on a walk and where they're kind of pulling ahead on the leash, or if it's a dog park, you're trying to get them to come back. Au pied is the order you'll give to get them to come and run back and stop at your feet. Au pied. Pied means foot. This order, you can use it for lots of things other than dog orders, but it's vas-y, go ahead. Vas-y. Maybe you've opened the car door. Maybe you've gotten to the beach and they can go off and run away from you. So you're saying, go ahead, vas-y. Make sure that you pronounce Z liaison between this S and this I, vas-y. This one is when you're back at home. You're telling your dog to get down, descends, descends. So depending on what object they're on, you might say, descends du canapé, get down from the couch, descends de la table, get down from the table, or descends de mon lit, get off my bed. Now, I know that lots of people have gadgets now where they can put cameras inside the house while they're at work, and then they can log in on an app and see what the dog is doing. And they can speak through the cameras, so the dog gets to hear their voice when their owner's not there. So you might tell your dog, I can see you, get off the table remotely, or if you're in the same room as them, descends, get down. This one is if you're in your garden or at the park, va chercher la balle. It's the equivalent of go fetch the ball. Va chercher la balle. You can then get them to do the opposite action, the opposite movement, which is bring it back. In that case, you'll use ramène. And if you want to specify what it is, you could say ramène la balle if you're talking about the ball, or ramène le bâton if you're talking about a piece of stick or branch. Va chercher la balle, ramène le bâton. That's all for us today. We are here to help. I just wanted to wrap up this video and say, if you liked this video, please leave a comment below, share it with another French learner like you. And if you ever need any help with your French, you can come and visit the website, www.frenchspeak.com.au, and I'll be happy to help. Au revoir.